Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kim Possible. I want to welcome you to the show, Off and Running. I have a special guest today, someone that I have been wanting to interview for a very long time and get up close and personal. I'm not going to say the name yet, but she is a media personality, a celebrity host, an inspirational speaker, and a writer, published author, and just an all around great person, inspirational. I want to welcome to the show. Put your hands together for KP, your girl, Kim Possible. Come on out here. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm happy to be here. You know, people always think I'm busy, busy, busy. I be busy, but you make time for the things you want to make time for, right? So first things first, KP, I'd like to welcome you to the show. I know you're a busy woman. You're always off and running. We see you everywhere running around with your blinged out microphone. So I want to thank you for taking the time to come here today to sit and talk to us. And I just want to jump right to it because I have a lot of questions that I want to ask you and I don't want to run out of time. So the first thing I'd like to ask you is, how'd you get the name Kim Possible? That's a cool last name. Where'd it come from? Okay, people ask me that all the time, actually, and some people think I got it from the little cartoon character, the Kim Possible cartoon, but that's not where I got it. I'm much older than her, so I'm the original Kim Possible. But anyway, actually, a friend of mine gave me that name. I did his wedding, and he asked me. I said, anything you want. You know, everybody knows me. My motto is it's all possible. Through God, everything's possible. So there's no such thing as impossible. So I asked him, and he said, okay. I asked him, what do you want? What's your vision for your wedding? He said, I only have one thing. The bride had all these things, and he said, I got one thing. I want Tupac to be at my wedding. I said, done. I had no idea at the time, like, okay, Tupac is not even on this earth anymore, so how am I going to make Tupac get his wedding? But I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way, okay? Everything is possible, so I'm going to find a way. So at the end of his wedding, I called him to the side and I said, you know, you asked me for one thing. You said you wanted Tupac to be at your wedding. So I pulled out this big picture of Tupac out of my pocket and I said, Tupac has been at your wedding this whole time. And he was like, okay. And that was it. And from there, he just started calling me Kim Possible and he started introducing me to everybody as Kim Possible. I was, working with him as an artist, and every time we went somewhere in business, he was like introduced like, this is my girl Kim Possible, and it just kind of stuck from there because people was like, oh, that's a dope ass name. So yeah, and since I go by the, everything is possible, that's my favorite scripture. Yeah, it just, I just roll with it. It fits. Wow, that all makes sense, and I see how it all ties into the Kim Possible, out here making it possible. But next thing I'd like to know too is, how did you get into media? Like it's like all of a sudden you were just on the scene and we're seeing you everywhere. So one day we see you in Miami, we see you in New York, we see you in LA, we see you everywhere. How did you get into media? Okay, how did I get into media in the first place? Actually, sometimes I have to ask myself that question. I'll be like, how did I even get into this? I just kind of got pushed into it. But to answer your question, I was working for my sister and for her company called Blitz Media, and she did events, and I would go with her and, do events for different like record labels and, radio companies and stuff like that. And just in general in the music industry. And I was doing events like behind the scenes. I was a behind the scenes type person. And when I started my business here, my marketing company, Fitzpatrick Marketing Group here in Pittsburgh, I took a cameraman to New York with me on this particular event to build a portfolio so I could come back and show people what I do. Because everybody's like, I see you with celebrities, but I really don't understand what you do. So at that time I was doing, events, and I took a cameraman with me. And at one point, I just wanted to build a portfolio, like, hey, look at me, hey, look at me, hey, I'm over here. And actually, one of the people that was there with me at the time, James Webb, had a, studio on the South Side, and he was there. I invited him to the event, and him and Alan Banks came, and Alan Banks ended up being my cameraman. And at one point during the night, James called me over. He said, hey, KP, you're doing a great job. I want you to do more of it. Wait, you see, we got some great video and stuff of you. And he said, the next celebrity that you take a picture with, instead of just taking a picture, I want you to start asking questions. I'm like, ask them questions. Ask them what? I don't know what to ask them. I'm shy. He was like, you are not shy. He was like, wait, you said. I was like, I don't even know what to ask them. He said, just let them share their story. Ask them about themselves. Ask them about their project, and let them take it from there. And I did that, and here I am. The rest is history. So I just, that's how I got into media. So yeah, Dan, I hope I answered your question. So tell us why you chose media, and when did you realize that that's what you wanted to pursue? I didn't really choose media. Media chose me. So, and when did I know I wanted to pursue it? After it chose me, and I realized, hey, I really like this. I'm good at it. Like, this is easy. This is natural. Like this, I used to be a social worker, and I feel like now I'm doing the same thing. I used to have to sit and listen to people and share their story, and just understand where they were coming from and why their life was the way it was, and now I just feel like I'm a social worker with a microphone in my hand. That's all, instead of a pen. So, what makes you love what you do so much, and what is your passion behind it? Why do I love it so much? Well, first of all, thank you for recognizing that I love it so much. It must show when I'm out there, because I really do. I love it because it just feels right. It feels like this is what I was born to do. It just comes natural for me. As you can see, I'm a talker, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just out here talking to people. I'm just out here having a conversation with people, and I enjoy getting to hear people's stories. And what's my passion behind it? Again, like I said, I was a social worker, and now I feel like I just have, God increased my territory, and I just have a bigger platform, and I love sharing people's stories, because my passion behind it is just everybody has a story, and people just want to be heard. And at this point in your career, what goal are you trying to still accomplish that you feel you haven't accomplished already? Oh, okay. What do I want to accomplish next? What I'd like to accomplish next that I haven't achieved already. Well, I've been writing. For since I can remember, since I was younger. I have one published book. Project We Are Free Women with a Voice. I'm working on my second project, which is a book called Mama, I Was Listening. And I would have to say that what I haven't accomplished already is to become a international best-selling author, and I am on my way. It's coming. That's next. And is there one thing that you could share that you feel like followers don't know about you already? That I used to be, I was afraid to get on camera. That's what I would say. When I first started, when the camera was off, I would come and be like, hey, it's your girl Kim Possible, and blah, blah, blah. I was practicing, and as soon as the camera came on, I was like, I was that. And it was like a million, can you redo that? Can you redo that? Can you edit that? Can you edit that? And I would say that's the biggest thing. And that even now, when I get on camera, I'm sitting there like, I'm nervous. Every time I step on camera, I'm nervous. That's what I would say. Now that I got to the nitty gritty of your business and career, I'd like to know more personal things about you. So one of the things I'd like to know is, if you could interview anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And if you could only ask them one question, what would you ask them? Anybody, dead or alive? Okay, well, unfortunately both my people are dead. Is that okay? First, I would have to say Muhammad Ali, one of my biggest heroes. And I would ask Muhammad Ali, we loved him because whenever he stepped in the ring, or whenever we saw him in front of the camera, he exuded super confidence, right? And I get it, because it's I always got to pump myself up before I get on camera, motivate myself. So I get it. But I would like to ask him, what fears did he have to conquer? What fears did he have, if any, before he stepped into the ring? Or, being so, out in the public eye. And, what did he do? How did he overcome it? Because I'm sure he had to have at least one. And how did he overcome it to be able to go on and be the greatest of all times? My second person, I would have to say another one of my favorites of all time, and still is, Tupac Shakur. I love Tupac because of the deep meaning of power in his messages, in all his lyrics. and he was truly an artist. And I would have to say, if I could sit here with Tupac today, I would ask him that if he, you know, I would ask him if he knew that he was going to be gone by, this certain age, and he would only be here, this short amount of time on this earth, what would he have done differently? What did he want to accomplish? If there was something that he wanted to accomplish that he did not accomplish before, his life ended. And once you achieved everything that you wanted to achieve with interviewing, let's just say those were the last two people that you get to interview, what would be your next goal? What's the next endeavor for Kim Possible? Somewhere, writing. Again, like I said before, I would write. I want to be an international bestseller. That is my goal. And traveling all around the world, doing inspirational speaking. That when I'm all tapped out on interviewing, that's what you'll find me doing. And do you have anyone that was inspirational to you on your journey to becoming that great interviewer? There's two people, but I would honestly have to say Oprah Winfrey. And the reason I say Oprah is because, like I said, I didn't choose media, y'all. Media chose me. But when I got into media and I started doing it and I just want to become better and get better, I would say Oprah, because Oprah, just her image was not the typical, image of, black woman on TV. And I would also say that Oprah, very much, she just seemed like a counselor, which was my background. She didn't seem like she was doing interviews. She just seemed like she really was sitting down, more like a coach and a counselor, and was allowing people to share their innermost truths with the world. Yeah, and that's what I would say, Oprah. And Ayanna Van Zandt. Growing up, as a young adult, teen and young adult, I read probably almost all of Ayanna Van Zandt's books. Acts of Faith, Lilies in the Valley, too many to name. And it inspired me. And, so I would say Ayanna Van Zandt, because, she had her own show as well. And again, she sat down. It wasn't like interviewing people. It was more like, just talking to people, counseling people, allowing people to share what was inside, share their voice enough to, not just to talk, for the sake of talking, but to inspire others and actually heal and inspire themselves to become better. If you were elected the president of the United States, what would be the first thing you would change? Oh, well, did you hear something? Did you hear I was going to be becoming the president of the United States? But seriously, I would have to say, if I became the president of the United States, what would I change? The first thing I would change is, instead of everybody getting to decide on what bills get passed and what happens with our lives and the laws and the rules and policies that we have to live by, I would say I would shift that power from the Senate and the Congress and the president and all the political people, and I would shift it more towards the actual people of the United States would be the ones who had to vote. Whenever there was a bill, whenever there was a law, whenever there was anything that had to get passed, the people, the citizens of America would be the ones to vote what that outcome should be. Name something that you may have learned or been taught as a child that you're happy that you unlearned as an adult. I'd say that's easy. Something that, we all, is unfortunate that as kids we're born innocent and come into this world thinking we can do everything, and then we're soon taught that, no, you can't. I would say fear. Fear, yeah. As I've learned, we're taught fear is we're not born fearful. We are taught fear, something that we learn. So I would have to say fear, because I've learned since that fear is false evidence appearing real. Yeah. Okay, a lot of people have a favorite like quote or phrase that they like to repeat. Do you have a favorite quote or phrase that you that you applied to your life? My first one I would say is again one of my heroes, Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali, said impossible is just an opinion, and it's true, and I've learned that's true. Impossible is just an opinion, somebody else's. So don't listen to other people's opinion of who you are. So that's one. And the other quote I would say or phrase is another favorite of mine, Dr. Seuss. I think Dr. Seuss was a genius. He's beyond his times. And if you go back and read Dr. Seuss books now, you will see like, man, this man was smart. Like he really had some hidden messages, in his rhymes and in his children's books. He was telling us back when we were kids, some powerful messages. And I would say my favorite one is you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. And that, yeah, I live by that motto. I love that. I live by that motto. And if we could just hold on to that as kids and carry it all the way through to our adulthood, we would all be much better off, because you really, what he was telling you then is like, your thoughts control the direction that you go. You have feet. Your thoughts are going to control your feet and the direction you go, and you're the only one that's in control of that. And you create your own story. And yeah, that's a powerful message, because it's true. We all create our own story. We noticed that you wear black like all the time. Is that the only color you wear? And so like, why black? Is that the only color I wear? No, it's not the only color I wear, but you would be pretty hard pressed to find any other color in my closet. I do have some little sprinkles of color here and there, but yeah, I love black. I stay dripped in black. And dripped in black means I love everything black. I love at one time I would say, yeah, it was maybe dark because I was kind of in a dark place mentally. Just not believe, that was before I believed in myself and I was operating from a place of fears. And but now dark it's unique. Dark symbolizes strength. I like everything dark, I like everything black. Yes. One of my friends gave me a t-shirt for my birthday a couple years ago that said, I'll start wearing black when they make a darker color, and that's it. So just expect me to always be in black, and that's why I embrace it and I made it part of my brand. So all black everything. Your girl KP is gonna stay dripped in black. I love everything black. Black men, blackness, the nighttime, black history. Like, yeah, I'm all about my blackness. I embrace it. Black people, black culture, black music, black food. Yeah, bring it, give it all to me. Again, I want to thank you for coming today. Thank you for sharing a lot with us. We are very enlightened, and I have a better sense now of who Kim Possible is. So I want to thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. And what would you want your followers or people listening today? What's the biggest message that you would want them to walk away with? Every decision we make is either from a place of our faith or our fear. So fear, I'll go back to it again. Fear is really a choice that we make. And so what are you choosing? Because we are the only ones that can give fear power. We fuel our fears. We give our fears power. And we're the only ones that can do that. So it's, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to live from a place of your faith, what you're believing to be true, or your fears? Again, what you're believing to be true. So I have now broke up with my relationship with fear, and I'm living from a place of faith. And I try to wake up every day and make every decision based from a place of faith. Okay, thanks again. Good luck on everything you do, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you wherever you're going next. Okay, you know what? This was fun. I want to thank you for having me again. Really, truly, You asked me some great questions, and you really had me thinking. You made me dig deep, into my own thoughts, and I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank everybody for even have an interest to have me here today. But I have a little gift for you. Okay, I want to give this to you. I give this to everybody. I just want to continue to spread the message as much as possible that everything really is possible. It's all possible. And I give this to all the people that I admire that are out there inspiring me, that everything is possible out there making it possible. So I want to give this, t-shirt to you, and I better see you with it and tag me in it when you wear it. Okay. But I want to give you this t-shirt because you're out here making it possible, and I want to thank you. For me? Oh, thank you. A t-shirt? I love t-shirts. Oh, girl, I saw you give this away on another show, and I was hoping I got one. I didn't want to ask you, but I'm glad I got one. And I will definitely be rocking my It's All Possible shirt. And KP, thank you again. Thank you for this. This is a powerful message because it really is all possible. And thank you for showing that it's all possible. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad that I finally got an opportunity to sit down and get to know more about Kim Possible, and I hope you are too. And I want to thank her for spreading that powerful message that it really is all possible. All you have to do is believe.